Welcome to Dog's Information.
Digging one sock into its bed, curling around it and sighing. No training. No camera trick. Just a dog holding on to the only piece of you it has until you walk back through that door. And here's the part almost nobody knows. That sock is just the beginning. The moment you leave the house, your dog begins a whole secret life. Some of it looks hilarious. Some of it looks downright bizarre. And one behavior, near the end of this list, is so precisely timed that scientists compare it to reading an invisible clock. Today, we are counting down the 10 strangest things dogs do when they're home alone. Not rumors. Not guesses. Real behaviors described by veterinarians, behaviorists, and researchers who set up cameras in ordinary living rooms. And every single one of them answers the question you've quietly asked yourself on the drive to work. Does my dog miss me? By number 1, you'll know the answer, and it's sweeter than you think. Stick around after the countdown, too, because I'll share a 10-second goodbye trick that can make leaving easier for your dog starting tomorrow morning. It's one of the simplest things you can do, and almost nobody does it. So, let's open that door quietly, peek inside, and see what your best friend is really up to. Number 10. The sock thief. You've seen the evidence. A slipper in the dog bed. A t-shirt dragged behind the couch. One sock missing from every pair you own. It looks like mischief. It isn't. When your dog is alone, your scent becomes their comfort object. Dogs will seek out socks and shoes that smell like their favorite person. They carry them back to their resting spot to soothe themselves while you are gone. Think about that for a second. Out of everything in the house, the toys, the treats, the warm spots, your dog chooses the thing that smells most like you. And research on scent and attachment suggests something remarkable. Dogs respond to their owner's smell more powerfully than to food or toys. Especially dogs who struggle with being alone. Your worn laundry is basically a photograph they can hold. That's why the sock always ends up in the bed, tucked under their chin, close to their nose. They're not destroying it. Most of the time they don't even chew it. They just keep it, like you'd keep a letter from someone you love. So, the next time you find your hoodie shaped into a nest, maybe let them have it a little longer before you take it back. But sock stealing is only the warm-up, because number 9 is the one that confuses almost every dog owner, and it happens at dinner time. Number 9. The traveling dinner. Your dog walks to the ball, takes a mouthful of kibble, carries it across the room, drops it on the carpet, and eats it there, piece by piece, trip after trip. Why? This one goes back thousands of years. Veterinary behaviorists explain what happened in a wild pack. Lower-ranking members would grab a share of the kill and drag it away, eating in peace without fighting a stronger packmate. Fighting is risky, so most animals do everything they can to avoid it. Here's the strange part. Your dog has no rivals. No one is stealing their dinner. But that ancient software still runs quietly in the background, even in a dog who's been an only child their whole life. And there's often a softer reason layered on top. Dogs are social eaters. Many don't like eating alone. And when you are home, some will carry their food to whatever room you are in, just to have company at dinner. Sometimes the explanation is simpler. Still, a metal ball that clings against a name tag can genuinely bother sensitive dogs. So, they take their food somewhere quieter. Either way, it's not bad manners. It's instinct, comfort, and sometimes acoustics. But if carrying food seems odd, wait until you hear where some of it ends up. Number 8. The secret pantry. Buried treats in the couch cushions, kibble tucked behind a pillow, a dental chew mysteriously planted in your laundry basket. Alone at home, some dogs become little squirrels. This is catching. A genuine survival instinct inherited from ancestors who couldn't count on tomorrow's hunt. When there was more food than they could eat, wild canines buried the surplus and came, snorts, back for it later. Your dog has a full ball every morning, but their instincts don't know that. And here's a detail most owners miss. Behavior experts note that an oversized portion can actually trigger this. When the meal looks like more than they can finish, something ancient whispers, "Save some for later." So, if you keep finding stashes around the house, your dog isn't being weird. They're being prepared. Adjusting portion sizes often calms the whole routine down. Honestly, there's something almost touching about it. Your dog, alone in a quiet house, carefully planning for a future they can't predict. But the next behavior isn't about saving food at all. It's about refusing it. And the reason will hit you right in the chest. Number 7. The untouched ball. You come home after a long day, and there it is, the food you poured this morning exactly where you left it. Full. Your first thought is worry. Is she sick? But then dinner happens. You're back in the room, and suddenly she's eating like nothing was ever wrong. Here's what many owners never realize. For some dogs, an untouched ball isn't about illness at all. It's about absence. Observers of dog behavior have long noted that a dog left alone too long can simply lose interest in food. The sadness of your being gone dulls their appetite. And remember number 9, dogs are social eaters. Some of them just don't like eating alone. The same way a table for one feels different to us. The meal isn't the point. The company is. Now, one important note, because your dog's health comes first. If your dog skips meals repeatedly, loses weight, or seems low on energy, that's a vet visit. Always rule out medical causes before assuming it's emotional. But if the ball empties the moment you are home, right next to your chair, that tells you something no camera ever could. To your dog, dinner with you isn't feeding time, it's family time. And we're just getting started. Still ahead. The real reason your dog barks at absolutely nothing. The truth about those all-day naps. And the almost unbelievable way your dog knows you are coming home before you are even close. And that 10-second goodbye trick is still waiting at the end. Trust me. You'll use it tomorrow. Number 6. Barking at absolutely nothing. It's a little unsettling. The house is silent. Your dog suddenly lifts their head, stares at an empty corner, and barks. Or the neighbors report barking fits at 3 o'clock in the afternoon when nothing happened. Except something did happen. Just not in your version of reality. Your dog's ears pick up frequencies far beyond ours. Human hearing tops out around 20,000 Hz. Dogs are commonly credited with hearing up to 45,000 or more. That means the faint hum of electricity inside the walls, mice scratching behind. The drywall, ultrasonic chatter from rodents you will never know existed. To your dog, your quiet house is a full orchestra. And their eyes are in on it, too. Dogs see far better in low light than we do, thanks to a reflective layer behind the retina. The same reason their eyes glow in photos. Some research even suggests their lenses let ultraviolet light through, revealing traces and marks completely invisible to you. And then, there's the strangest version of all. The day you come home to a dog who's been pacing and whining for an hour, and 2 hours later a thunderstorm rolls in. That's not a sixth sense. It's physics. Dogs are thought to detect infrasound, sound waves so low that human ears simply don't register them. The kind produced by distant storms and shifting ground. Their inner ears also appear to register falling atmospheric pressure, which is why so many owners describe their dog as a living barometer. Earthquakes work the same way. A quake sends out fast, gentle pressure. Waves ahead of the violent shaking. Dogs seem to feel that first wave, while we feel nothing at all. Some researchers even suspect dogs sense the electrical charge building in the air before a storm, which would explain why a dog can start trembling before the first clap of thunder. So, when your dog stares at nothing and barks at nothing, they're almost certainly reacting to something, a sound too high for you, a pressure change too subtle for you, a flicker too faint for you. You don't need ghost stories to explain it. You just need better ears. But barking is the noisy exception. Most of the time you are gone, your dog is doing something else entirely. And number 5 is the one every worried owner needs to hear. Number 5, the all-day nap, and why it's not what you fear. Maybe you've set up a pet camera, watched your dog snooze for hours, and felt a pang of guilt. Is he depressed? Is he bored out of his mind? Here's the reassuring truth. Researchers who filmed ordinary dogs home alone found they spend the vast majority of that time resting quietly, lying down, dozing, drifting. For a healthy, secure dog, that's not sadness. That's the default setting. Your dog isn't counting the lonely minutes the way you imagine. They rest. They recharge. And they save their energy for the part of the day that matters most to them. The part with you in it. Now, there is a difference worth knowing. And it's about quality, not quantity. A relaxed dog looks soft, loose muscles, hips rolled to one side, slow blinks. Calm and even breathing, sinking deeper as the hours pass. A dog who's quietly stressed looks different. Stiff, tense, holding one rigid position, staying just as wound up hour after hour. And studies suggest dogs with real separation distress don't settle down as time passes, while secure dogs relax more and more. So, don't judge the nap. Judge the softness. If your camera shows a floppy, sprawled out dog following sunbeams around the floor, breathe easy. That's a dog at peace in a home that smells like their favorite person. And speaking of sleep, what happens inside that sleeping head is number 4. Because your dog isn't just resting in there. They're somewhere else entirely. Number 4, running in their sleep. Because they're dreaming. Watch a sleeping dog long enough and you'll see it. The paws start paddling. The muffled little barks. Eyes darting under closed lids. About 20 minutes after falling asleep, an average dog slips into REM sleep, the dream stage. And the dog's sleeping brain looks remarkably like ours, cycling through the same electrical stages we experience. Deep in the brainstem, a structure called the pons acts like a brake, holding the body mostly still while the mind runs free. In research described by psychologist Stanley Coren, when scientists switched off that brake, sleeping dogs stood up and acted out their dreams. Pointers pointed at imaginary birds. A Springer Spaniel flushed invisible game. One Doberman squared off with a dream burglar. Dogs dream dog things, chasing, playing, patrolling, and quite possibly the people they love. Puppies and senior dogs twitch the most because that brake is weakest at both ends of life. Small dogs seem to dream in short, frequent bursts. Big dogs have longer, fewer dreams. Now, because this worries so many owners, here's a simple 3-question check. Is the body loose or stiff? Dreaming looks soft and twitchy. A seizure looks rigid and violent. Can you wake them with your voice? A dreaming dog answers to their name. A seizing dog can't. And afterward, are they instantly normal or confused and lost? Gentle twitching that ends within half a minute in a dog you can wake is almost always just a dream. Anything stiff, unresponsive, or followed by confusion deserves a vet visit. And a quick video clip will help your vet enormously. One more thing, never shake a dreaming dog awake. A startled sleeper can snap before they're even conscious. Call their name softly from a distance instead. And let this land for a second. Alone on the couch, your dog might be running through a field with you. We're in the top 3 now. And this is where strange stops, meaning funny, and starts meaning something much closer to love. Because the last 3 behaviors are the ones that answer the question every dog owner secretly asks. Number 3. Sleeping in your spot. The camera doesn't lie. You leave and within minutes your dog is curled up in your exact place. Your side of the bed, your dent in the couch, your desk chair. If they can reach it, why your spot? In a house full of comfortable places, because to a dog, scent isn't a detail. Scent is presence. Your dog experiences you partly as a cloud of familiar smell. And the places you sit and sleep hold the strongest concentration of it. Dogs have been observed sleeping in the spot of a person who's away or clinging to a piece of worn clothing. As if keeping the smell close keeps the person close. In a very real sense, as long as your scent is there, you are not entirely gone. That's what your dog is doing in your seat. Not claiming territory, not being spoiled. They're wrapping themselves in the nearest thing to a hug they can find. Some dogs go further and gather a whole collection. Your pillow, your robe, that famous missing sock, into one nest that smells like family. Look at it that way and it gets hard to ever shoo them off your chair again. But being surrounded by your scent does something else, too. It turns your dog into a timekeeper. And number two is the one that sounds impossible until you understand it. Number 2, knowing exactly when you are coming home. Millions of owners swear by it. The dog who's at the window at 5:25 every single day, moments before the car turns into the street. Grandma insists the dog hears the engine, but dogs do this even when you walk home, even when you change cars, even in the rain. So, how? The leading explanation is one of the most beautiful ideas in dog science. Your dog can smell time. Here's how it works. When you leave in the morning, your scent saturates the house. Then, hour by hour, it fades at a steady, predictable rate. Your dog's nose, tens of thousands of times more sensitive than ours, tracks that fading the way you'd watch sand drain through an hourglass. After enough repetitions, your dog learns something remarkable. When your scent thins to a certain level, that's when the door opens. So, they get up, stretch, and walk to the window right on time. Your dog isn't reading a clock. They're reading you. The version of you still hanging in the air. Some researchers describe dogs as smelling the past in every room. Who was there and how long ago, in layers we can't begin to imagine, which means your empty house isn't empty to them at all. It's a story about you, told in scent all day long. And that brings us to number 1. Because if your dog can smell how long you've been gone, what does all that waiting feel like? The answer is the single sweetest fact I know about dogs. Number 1. Waiting in perpetual hope. Here's the strangest, most beautiful thing your dog does when they're home alone. They wait for you without ever doubting you're coming back. Dogs don't carry a concept of forever. They don't count the hours the way we do. They measure time in rhythms. The sunlight moving across the floor, the growing hunger, the slow fading of your scent. And within those rhythms, scientists who study dog cognition describe them as living in a state of perpetual hope. To your dog, you are never gone. You are just late. Think about what that means. Every work day, every errand, every trip. Your dog files it all under the same heading. They'll be back. The sock in the bed, the nap in your spot, the nose tracking your scent through the afternoon. Every strange behavior on this list is really one story. A dog keeping you present in every way they know how until the real you comes home. That's why the greeting at the door never gets smaller. Whether you were gone 10 minutes or 10 days, you came back. And to a heart that never once considered the alternative, that's always worth a celebration. We spend our days out in the world. They spend their days holding our place in theirs. If that doesn't change the way you close the door tomorrow morning, nothing will. So, let's go back to that dog from the very beginning, the one curled around a single sock, sighing. Now you know what you were really looking at, not mischief, not boredom, a love language written in scent, instinct, and hope. And here's the empowering part. A dog who steals socks, naps in your chair, and waits at the window is a dog who's coping beautifully. But some dogs genuinely struggle. And it matters to know the difference. Howling that goes on and on, frantic scratching at the door, chewed walls, destroyed furniture, those aren't signs of a naughty dog. Now, some skeptics say a dog chewing furniture is just bored or underexercised. And sometimes, honestly, they're right. Boredom and too little exercise are real culprits. And a good walk plus a puzzle toy fixes a lot. But when the destruction comes with panic, drooling, and howling the second you leave, that's separation anxiety, genuine distress, not disobedience. And experts agree on one thing above all, never punish it. Punishment only deepens the fear. What helps is the gentle stuff. More exercise, food puzzles that keep the mind busy, a smaller cozy space, something that smells like you. And for the tough cases, a veterinarian or a certified behaviorist. No guilt allowed here either. Some dogs are simply wired more anxious than others. It's not proof you did anything wrong. But here's the part one really want you to hear, because it's the one owners miss. We notice the damage. Research on dog owners has found we're far better at spotting behavior that leaves evidence. The chewed door frame, the puddle on the rug. Then behavior that leaves nothing behind, like pacing or trembling in an empty room. And there's a study that makes this even more important. Dogs scoring highest on fear tend to whine rather than bark. Meanwhile, the dogs who bark loudest and scratch soonest are more often frustrated than frightened. Read that again. The most frightened dogs can be the quietest ones in the building. So, the loud dog gets help, and the silent dog gets called a good boy. That's not a reason to panic about your own dog. Most quiet dogs are simply resting. Exactly like number 5. It's just a reason to look a little closer at the softness, not the silence. Now, that little trick I promised. It takes 10 seconds. Tonight, take yesterday's worn t-shirt and leave it in your dog's bed. Your scent is the most powerful comfort object your dog has. More powerful than any toy you could buy. And tomorrow morning, change your goodbye. No dramatic farewell. No guilty voice. No long hugs at the door. Experts warn those emotional exits can actually feed a dog's anxiety. Instead, use the same 3 calm words every single time. Something like, guard the house. Then walk out like it's nothing. Calm leavings teach your dog that leaving is nothing to fear. And if you want to make it even easier on them, try this. Hide a few pieces of their breakfast around the room before you go. Or stuff their morning meal into a puzzle toy. It turns the first lonely half hour into a hunt. A dog who's been busy sniffing settles far more easily than a dog left with nothing to do. 20 minutes of real play a day does more for a dog's peace of mind than any gadget you can buy. If this video changed the way you see that little sock thief of yours, hit like and subscribe. Because next time, we are answering the question this video just raised. Does your dog actually dream about you? The science on that one will melt you. Until then, give your dog a slow ear scratch from all of us. They waited all day for you, and they tell you it was worth it.
Thanks for watching and like and subscribe, share please.